Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. And today we're doing episode 7 of the Rainbow Challenge. So we are halfway through our colour wheel. We have 6 colours left. I think that all the colours that are left are neutrals plus yellow and orange. So I'm going to bring up the wheel of colours and you can see what colours we exactly have left. So as you can see on the wheel, we have all our neutrals. So black, white, grey and brown. And our 2 remaining rainbow colours are yellow and orange. So far in our challenge we have had green, we've had blue, purple, rainbow, red, and last week we had pink. So we're on our final 6 colours halfway through the year. Let's see what colour comes up when I spin this wheel. I was hoping for orange. I put orange eyeshadow on today. Things are looking good. Let me get some orange books off my bookshelf. Okay, so I've had a look at my bookshelf and I've picked off 4 books that go with the colour orange. So let me go through them with you. So the first option is Crown of Feathers by Nikki Powell Prado. So I have no idea what this book is about. I bought this book because I saw it on someone's video and it looked pretty. So I bought the whole series. Yep, I just outed myself. So this is, as you can see, quite orange. Might look red on the camera, but believe me, it's orange. There's a phoenix on the front. Looks great. It says, in a world ruled by fierce warrior queens, a grand empire was built upon the backs of phoenix riders. Legendary warriors who soared through the sky on wings of fire until a war between 2 sisters ripped it all apart. Sounds interesting. I think this is a young adult. So for a slightly younger audience than me, but I will be happy to read it because I've read some good young adults. So we'll see if this one gets chosen. The next book is Of Blood and Bone by Nora Roberts, which is the second book in the Chronicles of the One series, which I read the first book in my oldest books on my bookshelf video. And I am kind of looking forward to this, but we'll have to see if I'm feeling this for this video, because this is quite, from the first book, a heavy sort of topic that this goes through. I believe, like, this is after, like, a world-ending epidemic, to the extent that half the population, or more than half the population, has basically been eradicated. And now this person in this book is said to be the chosen one, the one that's going to save them all. So we'll see if I get to this one in this video. The next book is A Fire in the Sky by Sophie Jordan. So this has an orange dragon on it. The orange dragon's also on the back. I don't know much about this. I know that a lot of people have loved it and a lot of people have hated it. I also know that it is quite a short book. It is 320 pages maximum. The words are decent sized and I can imagine that I might enjoy it. So this is the third option. And the last option is Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. So as you can see, it has a lot of orange on the front cover. Now, I could have saved this for the white book covers, but as much as the back is white, I think the front had more colour than is necessary for a white book cover. So this is also on the list. And it is also not too long. It's under 400 pages, so it's still quite a short one. And the words are sort of medium size. So we'll see if I can get to this one in this video, but let me just think about this for a second and pick what books that I'm going to start with. Okay, so this is my stack that I've picked out off my bookshelves to pick from. And if I'm being completely honest with you, because I'm still coming off a month where I didn't read much and I'm currently halfway through a book, I also want to pick up another audiobook as well. I think the first book I'm going to pick is going to be the shortest book, and that's going to be A Fire in the Sky by Sophie Jordan. Yeah, that's the name. So I'm going to start this book and hopefully I'll update you guys soon on what I think of it, and we'll see where I go from there and what book I pick next. Okay, so I did a little video update last night when I finished this book, but I need to stop doing serious video updates at that time of night when I just finished a book and haven't got my thoughts together. So I'm going to redo it now. So you saw a clip of me reading this outside, and I read a chapter then, and then the next day I flew through the rest of this book. And I finished it in one day, probably within a 12-hour period. Essentially, this book is following a main character who is known as the Whipping Girl. So that means that when the three princesses need punishment, or they've done something bad, she gets the punishment for them. So it's basically punishing them by punishing her. And she was left on the front stairs of the palace right before the first princess was born, and she was adopted by the king and queen. And this sort of goes into her life in the palace a little bit, and then a border lord comes in, the Lord Beast, I think they call him, and his name is Fell, and he comes in and he basically demands to wed one of the princesses because he wants like a seat on the council, or like just to be listened to. Anyway, she, as the Whipping Girl, gets put into the position of marrying him to try and deceive him into marrying her and go through with it all, so that he's stuck with her and they don't have to marry off one of the main princesses and taint their bloodline. That's basically the start of this book. I did really enjoy this book. I flew through it because the words are quite large, the margins are quite large. There's not many pages. As much as it was a 312-page book, there's a lot of pages that are blank or just full art. So it was quite a quick read, and I did intend on reading it in one day because of that. I did enjoy it. So this is sort of has a little trope in it that I love, which is not necessarily that there's dragons in it, but the idea of dragon shifters. And I don't know why I like that so much, but I can't find it in any books done well. I keep getting a bit more of a fan fiction sort of vibe from a lot of those books. So I liked this a lot for that. I did enjoy the main character's journey into rediscovering herself, I guess, because she's been stuck in this persona of herself where she's the Whipping Girl, and so she expects that that's just how she needs to be treated, and she goes on a journey, self-discovery, and figures everything out, and I really enjoyed that. I did like the main male character. Like, even from the start, I think I liked him because I could tell he wasn't what she thought he was, and he was actually a good person. I like, there were issues. Don't get me wrong, there were issues, but I had a good time reading it. The issues were not that bad in my opinion. Like it could have been expanded on a little bit more. But this is going to be the first book in a series. I don't know if it's connected to her other dragon series. I can't remember what that series is called. But this is going to be the first book in its own series. And I don't know. I want to continue it. I want to continue reading them. I don't know how I feel about how it ended though. Because I don't know how you go back to not normal. But I don't know how you let people believe what had just happened in the next book. It's hard to explain without spoiling the book. Like, I enjoyed what happened. I enjoyed her journey. I enjoyed the journey to get to where we got to. I don't know how I feel about the ending. I think the ending rubbed me a little bit the wrong way. I wanted it to not be just like feeling like it's just cut off, because it wasn't really a cliffhanger. It just felt like it just stopped. So I think because of that, I will give it a 3.5. Last night I said I was going to give it a 4, but I think 3.5 is more appropriate for it at the moment. So that's what I'm giving this one at the moment. I don't have a huge amount of thoughts because as much as a lot of things happened in this book, it wasn't enough for like me to feel copious amounts of things, you know? I don't know how it's going to expand from here. I can sort of see a little bit of what's happening. I did enjoy the idea that the magic is believed to be eradicated, but magic can never be eradicated. And the sort of awakening of that magic again. I liked that idea. I love that feeling so much in a lot of books. So yes, that's what I thought of this book. Again, not a heap of feelings. I'm not very in depth about it, but yeah, that's what I think at the moment. I could think about more things before my monthly wrap up, but at the moment this is all I can come up with. I don't know. Like, it was good for what it was, and I did enjoy it a lot, and I will be continuing the series if I can get my hands on the second book when it comes out. Okay, I had to get up and attend to the dog, so the door's open now. Because I have no self-control, I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning and read 110 pages of Spark of the Everflame. Now, I chose this book out of the 3 options because I've got some momentum going. I want to roll and I want to stay on that momentum. And I personally think Crown of Feathers, for example, I think Crown of Feathers is a book that I need my full concentration for because I don't know anything about it and I'm not quite there. I also think that The Chronicles of the One by Nora Roberts, of Blood and Bone or whatever it is, I think that will take a lot more concentration as well because it's a world that's got a lot of things to think about and remember from the first book. So with that in mind, even though they are both more orange than this book is, I chose to read this book. And I chose this book because, not because it's shorter, but because it is going to be a lot of the things that I'm actually wanting to read right now. So it's fantasy. They're all fantasy, basically. But this is like a fantasy that's going to be easy for me to fathom, easy for me to inhale. And right now at 110 pages, which is chapter 10 with the 3, I am feeling that definitely. So at the moment, we've got Homegirl, our main character. Her mum has gone missing. And before her mother went missing, she saw her mother talking to this Descended, which is the people in this world that have magic. So you got Descended and Mortals. And she saw her mortal mother talking to a Descended. And then that night, she disappeared. And she hasn't been seen for 6 months. And so we're going 6 months later. And our main character has just decided to stop taking the medicine that she's been taking basically her whole life because the medicine stops hallucinations. And she was told by someone to just stop taking it. And so she decided that she'd stop taking it once her mum disappeared. And after a couple of months, she just went, no, that's it. I'm not going to take it. And she feels like nothing's going to happen. And so she just continues to not take it. And that's basically where we're at. So it's been stated that her father in this book is not her real father. Everyone sort of knows that except the other village people. So everyone in her family knows that. And it's sort of open-ended. So we're sort of on a little bit of a journey. We're discovering the magic system a little bit more, where I'm up to. It's just sort of been explained to me that each kingdom or area has different magic. And there's sort of like, it's like they almost cut off from each other. So one sort of kingdom that she was like walking through and then exiting into another one, it was like a stark, like straight line difference between like autumn trees to just rock. And so they're sort of split up like that. They've got it written down, all the different kingdoms. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 different kingdoms. And the kingdom closer to her has light magic and shadow magic. It's called Lumnos, Realm of Light and Shadow. And so people born into that realm, their magic is light or shadow. And then you've got like a place with force and valor, beast and brute, root and thorn, sand and flame, mind and secret, sea and sky, thought and spark, and stone and ice. So I have seen her in Lumnos, Realm of Light and Shadow, and I have seen her in Fortos, Realm of Force and Valor. So in Force or Valor, you either get healing magic, which is most commonly what the females get, or you get It's sort of death magic, which is usually what the men get in this kingdom. And so these are the two places she's sort of been. She's currently on a journey, though. I don't know whether she's going to go back to her kingdom or continue on to another one. I'm unsure. She's sort of just on a getaway journey. So it's not like a huge journey. I don't think it's going to continue too far. But yeah, I'm 27% of the way through. I will see how it expands on this. There's not much that, again, I read it at 1:30 in the morning. I probably need to refresh myself a little bit. But there's not much more to it. There's a kingdom and the king's about to, he's on his deathbed. The king's nephew is said to be next in line for the throne. So they're sort of expecting him to be next up to rule over this kingdom. That's probably all I've got at the moment without spoiling anything. So I will read a little bit more today. I'll update you guys when I do and what my thoughts are on it from there. But yeah, at the moment, really good, really enjoying it. I still have my momentum, so this will hopefully be a good book to continue into in this video. And hopefully it's as good as people are saying it is. People are saying this is top book at the moment. This has just been traditionally published, this series. I've got the first 3 books. I don't know when the 4th book's going to come out, whether there is a 4th book, who knows. But this was popular when it was indie published, and now it's been trad published, and it's just as popular. So hopefully it's good. I have high hopes for this series, and I will see how it goes. Okay, so it's been a couple of days. I've been busy with things. I've been stressing over things, and I've been picking up the book when I'm stressed so that I can de-stress through the book. I decided that tonight I just really wanted to finish the book off. I had 100 pages left, and instead of updating you guys on my thoughts, I decided to finish the book. And I'm glad that I did that, because I feel like while I had the momentum, I had to keep reading it, and I wouldn't have felt the way I felt if I had have had a break. So I've now finished Spark of the Everflame by Pencoll, and I'm going to let you know my thoughts. I honestly very much enjoyed this book. I have heard fantastic things about this book. Now, for me, it didn't quite reach a 5-star. It was a 4.5. Still pretty high up there. I love the magic system in this book. I love the idea of it. I have not unveiled most of it. So this is take me with a grain of salt. But I like the magic system. I like how it works. I like that it's sort of, you're in a world where you've got mortals and descended are the powerful ones. They're known to be powerful because they are basically the result of mortal and gods breeding. So we've got that sort of aspect to it, and it's sort of insinuated that there's a curse to it. Now, I don't know properly what the curse is. The series is called the Kindred's Curse Saga. I don't know what that curse is properly, but adds a little bit of, oh my god, what's that? I love the intrigue of this book. I like that not everything comes easy to the main character. So in a lot of fantasy books nowadays, I'm reading them and things are coming too easily to characters. Obviously in most books they know how to fight to some extent, but it's almost too easy for a lot of people. And in this book it was not too easy for the main character. You sort of follow her through her trying to figure out what she wants in life for a start, and what her idea of, not vengeance, what her idea of honor is, and discovering how it feels to have people respect you, but then discovering if that's really the way you want to be respected. I enjoyed her journey through that, and I honestly, when it came to the point where she had her turning point as a character, I was hooked and I could not put the book down, which is also some of the reason why I decided to just keep reading the last 100 pages. I don't know how it's going to go from here on out. And I have not read the bonus chapter in this book because I finished the book on the Kindle app. So I've not read the bonus chapter yet, which is in here, which is just from another character's perspective, I assume, of something that's happening. So I don't think it's going to be vital to the ending, maybe vital to the next book. I just, there was something slight missing. It just didn't, like, it hit everything I wanted it to hit at the end when she had her whole character arc of like realizing who she was and what she wanted as far as her legacy to be, sort of. There's just something missing throughout the start of it. And like, this book is one of those books where you acknowledge the journey that the character's going on, and you acknowledge that characters that are a part of her life are in a way people that she's got to find out secrets about to understand them better, what she thinks is right and what's wrong. And I enjoyed that. Like, I've read books recently, Diabound was one of them, where like characters that are in her life to start with before she gets to the point where there's extra things and like more danger and she's meeting the like other people and all of that. In Diabound, for example, it was too obvious that these people were who you think they are. And so you go through the whole book like, when are we going to figure out that this guy's a bad guy? When are we going to figure out that this person's actually good? When are we going to figure out this secret that we can obviously see coming? Now, there were secrets that I saw coming in this book, but it was almost done deliberately. So it wasn't like it was hiding it from us, but it also wasn't like it was throwing it in our face. It was like we knew, and she knew, the main character knew, but she was in denial. And it's from her upbringing and what she's been told to believe and what she has believed her whole life, and her just going, oh, it couldn't be that. I enjoyed how it did it then. I think what it was lacking in was the in-between pieces. So we're in her head the whole time, but I think that the in-between of her journey and her character arc and just different things that were clear for the plot, there was something missing. I can't quite put my finger on it. So it doesn't reach 5 stars for me, but I'm sure that the next book could, that's in this series, because it has building blocks that are hugely great. I love what this set up. I love how it set it up. And also that ending, I saw it coming, but I also don't know how it's going to develop from here. Like, how... I can't say anything without spoiling, but how are people going to accept that ending? That's all I can say. I honestly hold me back from getting the next book. I realized when I started this book, I was meant to buddy read this with my friend, and I forgot, and I chose it for the orange prompt for the Rainbow Challenge. And I think I should wait for that friend to get to the second book before I start reading the second book. But oh my God, is this going to stick with me until then? I honestly have no proper words for what I'm feeling right now. Like, I've literally just finished this book. And I know I've said before that I shouldn't update books right when I finish them, but I had to for this one. I just had to. So that is the end of this episode of the Rainbow Challenge, where we read orange books. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I hope you guys enjoy this series that I have on my channel. If you do enjoy the series and you'd like to see more, feel free to go onto my channel, subscribe, like some videos. I hope to see you in the next video, and until then, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, a wonderful rest of your month, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.